so much, mostly from our readers. So,
Certainly.
first of all, how did you get into this business of debating?
For a criminology class at Cal State Fullerton on sex and the law.
Okay.
I had studied on that because I have a master's degree myself. I used to be a school
Right.
teacher. And then about how the law has affected me, how the adult industry and the law have affected each other over the years.
Okay.
One affects the other one affects the other, and how they've both grown and changed. From California law, state law, of course, to federal law, to all kinds of obscenity prosecutions. So it was a criminology class, Dr. Garrett Capune's criminology class.
Okay.
So then from that, then Wolfman said, why don't you debate? Because I was debating vice cops at that time, or doing just by myself. Then I got the break of going to Oxford, England. I lectured out there, coincidentally, a week before Benazir Bhutto lectured. And she was actually the president of the Oxford Union. This is many, many years ago, when she was in exile. Now, suppose she went to Pakistan and got shot and killed. You know? So I did Oxford, Trinity College in Ireland. And then Wolfman started putting me with other people to debate against. First was Susan Cole, PhD from Harvard and a feminist. Then it was Michael Leahy, and he's from the organization called Brave Hearts, recovering sex addicts, with a little bit of a religious bent. And then also the Triple X Church, I also debate Greg Rose.
Okay.
He has a very big website, triplexchurch.com. So I have 3 people I debate, you know. And I'm actually friends with all 3 of them. You know.
Really?
Well, you get along as people. You know, I did a tour with Triple X Church. We were in the bus together with his family, with his wife and kids. So we get along as people, just like I talk to Mike's wife. You know, we all get along. Of course, I correct my usual obscene jokes, which he expects me to do. And I talk to his wife, and we're friends. It's the business he has a problem with, not me.
What do you say to people who feel that porn is degrading to women? What is your response to that?
How about gay porn? Men. Who's being degraded when a guy does a guy? You know,
Do you feel
it's a
that
sex
it's degrading?
business. How's it degrading? We're just having sex. It's just for a certain type of film, that particular type of audience. It's a sex movie.
Right.
You know, why is it degrading to women when we're labeling, telling you what it is from the very beginning?
Okay.
How many times are women used in sexual scenarios to advertise in the media, television, R-rated films, PG films, G-rated movies, and they sneak sex into it very subliminally? Or I've seen billboards, which I have a whole bunch of stuff like that. The billboards in Hollywood, women in sexy poses, provocatively dressed,
Sure.
half nude, advertising things from jeans to God knows what, or music videos. When women's sex appeal helps sell the music video. We're the ones who are telling it, we're telling you from the very beginning. We're rated X.
Right.
They're sneaking it in. So why would, I think that's more degrading to be utilized that way, you know?
Do you
So,
ever
what's
feel
degrading?
like
Sex isn't degrading.
Right. Do you ever feel guilty or like that you're in some way personally responsible when you hear people talk about, oh, my relationship was ruined because of porn, or I was
No.
addicted to porn?
No. The number one of the top causes of death in America is alcohol. You know, there's some bartender or store that sells alcohol going to feel horrible. That, you know, people are going to feel guilty going to church because a few priests ruined some young boys' lives. Is the church going to go out of business because of a couple of bad guys? They're going to is every priest going to feel personally bad that a bunch of his brothers abused little boys? No. You don't blame an entire organization on a bunch of... Some people who use porn totally inappropriately. A lot of kiddie pornographers will use the heterosexual mainstream porn that I'm in, try to get little kids in the mood. That's horrible. You don't blame the industry.
Right.
So again, I can give you a zillion examples. The automobile, car accidents, you know, I mean, automobiles, again, is necessary. Is there anybody who drives a car going to feel guilty because people are dying or being careless behind the wheel? So you can't, you know, our business can be a great thing for those who use it recreationally. And usually I get a show of hands. During the debate, I'll probably ask at some point, with a show of hands, who has ever seen porn with a couple, as it with a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, and saw it recreationally and enjoyed what you saw? Maybe you tried it out in the bedroom, and you'll see a bunch of hands go up, you know. Yes, some people can be addicted to it, but then there's so many things, you know, you can't blame us for that.
Right.
We're adult business for adults to watch. My parents go say again, I have a book coming, which tells a lot about that. What if, it's over there. Well, I saw this picture of my mom. My mother, this people find this fascinating. You talk about parents, I dedicate the book to them because, you know, they all, you know, they raised 3 kids who don't touch drugs, don't drink, don't smoke. All got 6 years of college and a master's degree. Here's my mother in her trench coat during World War II. She was in the OSS, which became the CIA, you know, later on, years later. There she is in her trench coat.
Unusual.
My mother was a spy in World War II.
That's an awesome
My
photo.
dad was a physicist. I had a cousin who died a hero at the bottom of the bulge, got the Purple Heart. So my parents are very free. They respect freedom of speech and chasing the career that you want. They don't want me to stay doing porn. They will hope I'll use it to other things, go into a higher level of entertainment, not just do porn. And I've kind of done that. I've worked on other things besides. My mother had a great expression. She said, my son Ron dances to a different drummer. She used to say that a lot. And my dad had a great expression. My sister and brother were vice presidents. My sister had an advertising agency, but Larry was vice president of Marriott. So he worked with Bill Marriott. So my dad said I have 2 VPs and a P of E, 2 vice presidents and a president of vice. That was his.
So some more lighthearted questions from our readers. Does sex ever sound like something that's work, or does it ever get boring?
No. Next question.
Okay. How many women have you had sex with?
They got me clocked at. Historians always figure this out. Me and Gene Simmons from Kiss had the exact same number, and when Barbara Walters asked both of us 2 weeks apart on The View, between 4 and 5,000, closer to 4. And then Will Chamberlain and John Holmes said 20,000, and both regretted saying it.
Right.
You know, me and Gene tried to be more honest. He said close to 4.
Everybody wanted a bit of advice for you. So what would be your best or favorite bit of sex advice for a man and for a woman? Okay.
That's the best advice. And another corny advice, being yourself. I give this advice to guys all the time about picking up women, and this is so true because even when I was a kid, back when dinosaurs were on the earth, but when I was a kid, it was so true that the best place to meet women still is a discotheque, because it is dancing. It's the only place you can break the ice and is socially acceptable. You go to a diner, a restaurant, a supermarket, a laundromat, you say hi to some girl, she's like, yourself, or some big boyfriend goes, hey, she's with me. Sorry. But if you go to a discotheque, you are socially allowed to say want to dance to a stranger. And if she says no, that's fine. But if some boyfriend goes, she's with me, fine, I asked her to dance. You're allowed to do that, you know? And no one can say a word about it. See what I'm saying? So it's the only, and if you ask a girl to dance, let's say you're an average guy, look like this. You ask 20 girls, one's going to say yes. Now you're dancing. Let's say you get lucky, the band or the music winds up being a slow song. Hey, now you can dance a little bit more intimate. Have a chat, you know, discuss things. But that's the best place to meet girls because it's the only place I can think of where you're allowed to say hi or want to dance and nobody can criticize you for it. Anywhere else they can tell you to go screw off. Like, I'm busy doing my laundry, want to get out of here? Whereas if you're at a dance floor and she's just with her girlfriends or alone, you could say, would you like to dance? So I think that's the best place to meet women.
All right.